Welcome to the Everyday Awesome Project, where we bring you inspirational stories and game-changing strategies to live your most awesome life. Hey, superstars, welcome back. Polly here.
And Sam Pruitt. What's up, beautiful humans?
Welcome back. Welcome back. I'm so glad you're here again. Last week was solo, so it's so good to be doing this together again. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Check you out.
I know, I was like, I'm just gonna knock something out. You're out adventuring. I'm like, okay, I got something to say about this. Let's create our day. But today, my friends,
Yeah.
leveling up your mind and body.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? What are we talking about? What do you mean?
What that means for me, your version, and I'll ask you this question when it's your time.
Oh, yeah,
Your
that's right.
answer
This
might
is
be a
gonna
little different.
Yeah.
Exactly. This one's about me. We're going to do yours next. But what that means for me is actually consciously choosing, which I have done, you do, lots of people do. And we want to encourage pretty much every human that we run into to do this over the course of their lifetime, many times. It's not a one-time deal. But choosing to do something very challenging, slightly terrifying, if you will.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, and just out of the box, not something that you would normally do.
Yeah.
I specifically love to impart on people to do a physical challenge. So some audacious physical challenge that you've never done before as a way to commit to growing yourself, to evolving yourself. And I don't just mean a physical challenge that was hard so I could get, ripped and get in shape or whatever. And then that's the end of that. It's about doing a physical challenge so you can build yourself emotionally, mentally, and really level up who you are as a person. A better version of yourself will be the outcome.
Just as you were saying that, I got present to was so I know where we're going in this conversation. I'm really excited because there's some things that you're going to share. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to hear all these stories that you're going to share and the takeaways and stuff. It's like when I was doing them, I don't think I wasn't doing them necessarily for all the things I got. Like this, what do you call it? The side benefits, the symptoms, the whatever you want to call it. It's like I had no idea that all of that, like this whole other world of who I am and got to know myself and stuff. And I wonder, was that present for you? Like, or like looking back upon it, it's like, holy crap, look at, so we'll get to that in your takeaways, but I just want to say that in the beginning. So what I guess we're saying is like pointing the finger at like, oh, something scary to do physically. While that seems on the front end, the thing is a race, a challenge, something that,
new sport, new adventure, whatever. Yeah.
Scary, hard, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what you think it is, but it's like it's wrapping a little surprise inside of it. Sometimes many, right? So, okay, we'll get to that.
So many. It's like one of those boxes. You remember people used to do this at the holidays or birthdays or whatever. They'd get this teeny little present and then they put it in a box and then another box, and another box, and each one would be wrapped. So you'd have to 8 or 10 boxes later, you're like, my wedding ring or my necklace or my, chocolate bonbon or whatever the hell was in the ultimate prize,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it was kind of like you unwrap, and each one is like oh, I didn't know I was going to get that, and then I got that, and oh my God, I got that too. So, all right, well, here we go. All right, so so I think that the things that you have done in your life, some of them would be called a calling, right? Or I've heard you describe that before. So tell us what like the calling is, or was it a calling, or was it like an impulse, or was it somebody, knocked you upside the head and said, dude, you're lame. Like, come on, get off it. Was it a wake up call? Was it a calling? What would you call it?
Well, I mean, my fitness and health journey, when I started doing bigger things, first of all, I wasn't a healthy fitness person up until almost 30. So I
Quite the opposite.
Start. Yeah. I was a couch potato. But health crisis, of course, is what, and mental and physical health crisis is what kind of catapulted me into understanding holistic health, my physical body, the correlation between my brain, my emotions, my thoughts, and the results that were happening within my body and how my body felt. So navigating that not gracefully whatsoever, I eventually found my way towards exercise and fitness and stuff like that. So I don't think that was my initial calling to do big, hairy, audacious physical challenges by any means. I literally could barely walk into the gym, and
do it
on the
10 minutes on the treadmill, or
it was not pretty, but it doesn't matter. I showed up, that was the thing. So that's part of the path. But most of us dare to say, all of us, have some physical capabilities. It might be different. It looks different for everybody, but we're in a physical body during this lifetime experience that we're all having together. So through that physical body, there are a lot of different opportunities. Anyway, I found health and fitness. I started to get into it a little bit and take care of my body and get healthier. And through that trajectory, started to expose myself to new people, new places, and understanding that world. It was basically like I was transported into a different world at that point.
Huh?
What else
What's going on
here?
over
And,
here?
especially when I looked outside of the gym environment, because my initial foray was into gym activities and classes, and then some strength training, and then it was spin, and then it was aerobics, or whatever the hell it was, all that old school stuff, right? And women weren't really lifting weights, so I was doing a little bit of machines and stuff, but not much. But once I looked outside of that space, and I did that actually through one of my own clients who had a curiosity about triathlon, and I'd never done triathlon. I really didn't even know what the hell it was. But we dared each other to do our first sprint triathlon. So in signing up for that, and mind you, I didn't have a bike and I didn't know how to swim, and I had barely learned to run. So I was, I don't know, a year into running maybe.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea.
Let's do this. Yeah, look.
Yeah. So again, like, sounds crazy,
Yeah.
and scary, and all
Yeah.
the things that are exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to go great and I was going to be some stellar triathlete all of a sudden. I just wanted to try something new. So the first calling, the first whisper, if you will, was try something new outside of your normal everyday routine that you currently have developed. Learn new skills, learn how to swim, borrow a bike and learn how to ride a road bike, right? Like, figure some shit out. And the curiosity in me, and also the person that is part of my DNA that wants to know more about myself and learn more about myself, just said yes. And then we'd figure out the rest later. So that was kind of part of the journey. And then I progressed over many, many years into what would be the next thing I could learn, what could be the next challenge. And at first it was just going longer, going farther, right? Maybe trying to do it a little bit faster, maybe trying to do it a little bit better, whatever, basic progress in the physical way, But very early on, I learned that that's not at all what was waiting at the finish line of these races. What was waiting at the finish line was definitely a better version of myself. And that wasn't because I had become healthier or more fit. It was a knowing. I began to know thyself, right? And that was through the miles, through the time, through the commitment to myself, through the dedication, through the many, many moments of this fucking sucks, but I'm doing it anyway. And I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's where the magic is.
Yeah.
That's where the magic is.
What I'm pulling out of that is you showing up for you. It's like
Totally.
those moments when you show up for you, you're like, check me out, or like like I can remember like cold swims, or exhausted runs, or your legs are so tired and you just don't want to bike anymore, or you with all those days in the freaking heat. I mean, just, like why am I doing this? And you do it anyway, and you just show yourself to yourself. Right?
You show yourself what you're made of, but in the process, you're developing a better version of yourself. So it's not so much like, what am I made of? It's what's possible for me. What is a potential here? How can I continue to explore this internal space called my own mind and use my physical body to do that? So to me, that was the hook, like continuing on the process. And it's now been 25 years of doing these kind of activities in a variety of different, experiences that we can talk about, but staying in it. Whereas a lot of people will do a couple of these things and then they'll pack it in and quote unquote go home. What the hell does that mean?
So it didn't, you didn't feel it so much like, I think we had a similar, routine of getting into the gym and getting more fit and getting more healthy, let's say. Would you say that first race, that first triathlon that you described, did like a light bulb go on at that first one, or was it like 10 into it and you're like, oh, I think I'm onto something here? Or did you
Oh, no,
notice?
the very first one. First of all, it was a disaster, to be clear, but
I
it
love
was
yours.
hilarious. It was funny. It was fun. We were lighthearted about it.
Nice.
She had her struggles. I had my struggles. So she was a swimmer. Both of us didn't know shit about biking. Both of us were barely learning to run. So it was, and we didn't stay together the whole time, but we saw each other enough and in transition and whatever, and just to be there in celebration with each other, witnessing each other's accomplishment,
Yeah.
was huge.
Yeah.
One of the big takeaways also was, wow, there's a community of people doing this.
Yeah.
Who are all these nut jobs? I
Yeah.
love them.
Yeah. Because they're
I
out
must be
doing
one of
it.
them.
They're out doing the thing. And then you guys all get together on race day and you go, oh, look at, there's a lot of me's, right? Like, oh, here we all are. Right.
Well, the interesting thing about triathlon specifically is there wasn't a ton of women. I mean, there was some, but we were definitely not, we were the minority.
Yeah.
So my next level there was to go become a triathlon coach and build a triathlon club myself. And I first started with a women's only team, and it was
Wow.
specifically to encourage and train women who had never been on a team and never done a triathlon. And so I used my own personal experience and then gained the knowledge, obviously, and got certified and all the things that were required. And then I built that women's community that I wanted and I needed for myself also. So many things were birthed out of that
Mhm. Let's
crazy.
try this. Let's
to
try
have
this thing called a triathlon. And then
Yeah,
boom, 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 look where it goes. And you never know. It's not like
you never
everyone who,
know.
not everyone who does their first triathlon goes, I'm going to become a coach and create a community and stuff like that. But you never know, right? So
But you
that's,
know what a lot of people say? Because I hear these things, because I talk to a lot of people, and I've talked to a lot of people about, especially about things like this. They think they're on their own.
yeah.
Like I currently have this REI project and I've got a bunch of people in there now hiking and running again. And I've got a couple people interested in triathlon and one guy's training for triathlon. And they're like these lone warrior soldiers out there doing the thing. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. I love that. And I have done many, many years of that kind of thing too, if that's what you need right now. But there's also like a ton of community around this if you want that,
Sure.
or
Yeah.
I could meet you at the pool or whatever, like, figure it out.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there's so many, like we said, unpacking of these gifts, opening up the
Mhm.
boxes as you continue on the journey.
So I would say whether I just want to click on something here to remind anybody that's listening. It's like I don't really have a calling for it, you know. It could be something that interests you. It could be scary. I love scary, like and I love scary for other people because that I'm like I think about me and my RV, little
Yeah.
me. You see me in my big RV, like 32 feet, never driven an RV before, going across the Western U.S. in my RV. I've never even like hooked one up or whatever. So people are
Oh,
like, "Are you what? You're going by yourself? What are all this
a
stuff?" And it's
curiosity. It could start with a curiosity. I just
yeah,
had a woman yesterday. This is a complete side note. I met like 5 amazing humans just yesterday in a couple-hour period.
I love
Okay,
it.
this was at REI, but people come in there, they're having adventures and they want to talk about their adventure. And of course, I'm there to help them facilitate
Yeah.
the success of that adventure. And so I want to learn the story.
Yeah.
But one woman, over 60, single female, was going to Everest base camp.
Wow.
What? Because she wants to. Is she
Wow.
terrified? Terrified. And I was like,
Terrified.
I think I need to go there. I mean, that wasn't on my list before, but I'm like, okay, tell me all about it. And why'd you pick it? And whatever. And so these stories happen over and over and over.
Yeah.
People all over are doing really cool, epic shit. And
Mhm.
I do not believe that nobody has a calling. I'm not buying that story.
Yeah.
I think that the energy within you, especially when it gets around like minded people, or there's a vibe that starts to be created in different environments, if you listen to it and follow it,
Mhm.
it will fire you up. So if there's a little fire igniting, pay attention,
I think
ask
that's
questions.
yeah. And ask yourself, like, oh, what if I,
What if
did a
I did
little bit?
that?
And I would say one of my favorite words is like, it's something that like tickles you or excites you. It's like, imagine you're just like, I mean, you have definitely a go, like you're like, okay, I'm a hell yes for that. Right. And then you have like, try that. I'd be interested in that. I think everybody has a different way that it sparks them, if you will. So, and this could be in art, this could be in dance, this could be in music, whatever, the leveling up of your inner soul, right? Like you and I have a lot in the physical body, right? Or physical movement, let's call it, right? But maybe this is through sound or art or something like that. So something that excites you, it's a growing and expanding of your soul. I dig it. I dig
And the
it.
physical body is attached to us.
Last time I checked.
I mean, I'm just bearing witness to a lot of people that seem to think they're two separate things.
The mind and the body.
Hello, I don't know.
Like,
the body is just either coming along for the ride and they're totally trapped in their freaking head.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't even know that the rest of this isn't working. They've totally stopped listening a long time ago. Or the reverse, people are super obsessed and also trapped in their body, and they're not giving a lot of time to their thoughts and their emotions and their mental process. So you do see some detachment there, right? So really, when we think about doing something very physical, it requires 100% of your spirit, your mind, energy to come along, your emotions to come along and allow the process to happen. You can't, they're not separate.
I love it. I love it. So you talked a little bit about the arc of, from couch potato to, you didn't talk too much about the ultra running that you do now. You talked a little bit about triathlon, but break it down. Like, what was the journey? Because a lot of times people look at like, oh, Samantha, she's running these hundreds and 200s of miles in multi-days, and like, how do you? That's crazy. Whoever can do that, right? She can do that. I can't do that. But there were stages. Can you see the stages for yourself, or this evolution? Tell us so that people go, oh, well, you got into this, and then you grew up to that. What was that like? How did that work?
Yeah. So I explained the, kind of getting to 30, physical, mental health crisis, finding health, wellness, holistic health, started to literally study it, like really just to heal myself, not to become, some guru in the health world or a doctor or something like that. And then found triathlon, like I explained, and started with a sprint triathlon in a pool.
Sprint being the shortest distance. I think it's like the shortest.
I don't know how to swim. You're not throwing me in the freaking ocean or some lake or something. What the hell? That's how you die. I don't know what the hell's going on. And the pool, I can just stand up.
oh, there you go. I'm alive. I'm not drowning.
So that was my gateway into endurance.
Okay.
And then moving progressively through that, becoming a coach and then getting certified and starting a club and then being in community. I started to experiment with longer distances. So then it's Olympic distance. So next thing you know, I am swimming in the ocean. Holy hell, that was fucking scary, by the way. And I am doing a longer distance, double the distance. And then next thing you know, I'm doing a 70.3 half Ironman. And I did that as a 40th birthday celebration with a bunch of friends. And then it was like, well, obviously next I need to do a full Ironman, double the distance. Right. And obvious for me, I get for many people, that's not a goal.
Like a hell no. Yeah. Sure.
So I worked my way through triathlon as kind of the moral of that story and experienced many different things. I did so many races, traveled all over with this club and these friends, and built just an amazing life around it. It was fantastic. But there were some things about it weren't really that satisfying. So it's a very competitive sport, tends to be. And people are pretty oriented around their gear and certain experiences. And that's just not part of my personality. I just never really got totally into all of that. And so through that community and doing more running, training for Ironman, trying to get myself up to marathon distance. Next thing you know, I did some marathons and all that jazz. I found a group of people that were trail runners and ultra runners, which I didn't even know what the hell ultra running was at all.
Yeah.
But I liked the idea of trail because I had an IT band issue and it was really becoming a problem for me running on the road. So then I went to the dirt as just a way to be able to get in miles slower, do some hiking, etc. Build my ultra endurance up for Ironman. But when I met these people and went on some runs with them, again, community, out in the freaking mountains in the backcountry of Arroyo Grande behind Lopez Lake, you're familiar with it, because I would go there for triathlon training, but I would never run on the trails. All of a sudden I was like, wait, we're going up that mountain? What the holy hell? What the? But it was, and in particular, one person that mentored me, who was total old school ultra runner, he's quite a bit older than me and all these things, just brought a whole fresh new way for me to feel about running and about moving my body and about building endurance. And he said to me, if you can do an Ironman triathlon, you can run a 50 miler. And I was like, no.
Well, I mean, you're doing 140 and 50 miles.
I know, but that's swimming,
Different. Yeah.
biking.
Yeah.
And yes, that's going to take me all day,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
time-wise, right?
Yeah.
But at this point, I'd only run up to a marathon. So to go from a 26 to a 50, again, doubling the distance. And he's like, here's the deal. I will help you make this happen. I'll help you train. We'll do it together. I'll support you, any questions and things that you need. And then I'll go with you
Wow.
to the race. So we'll go do this thing
Wow.
together. And I was like, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? I could get lost, but I won't, because he'll be there. Make sure I don't get lost, because you can get lost in these races. Believe me, I
Yeah.
have. I could die, but that's kind of on me. But at least, he would be around and get me some help or something. Or I couldn't finish. Like, it just falls apart
Yeah.
and you don't finish, which is
Okay.
a big deal. But I know for many people that's heartbreaking. It shouldn't be heartbreaking. We fail at shit all day, every day, whatever. And if you've owned your own business, listen, failure, you're used to all that.
Yeah.
So then I progressed into ultra, and I did do American Ripper 50 was my first 50 miler. And it is first you run a marathon on a bike path, so it's paved, and then you transfer to the dirt and you do the second marathon in the dirt through the mountains of Northern California.
Wow.
Dude, it was epic. It was craziness.
Wow.
But I loved it. I freaking loved it. It was hard as hell.
Hard,
but to accomplish that blew my mind. It's like when I crossed any finish line, but definitely as I progressed in distances, going from sprint and Olympic to a 70.3 and crossing that first 70.3 finish line. What
Holy
in the
hell? Yeah.
Who am I right now? What? You start to really blow your own mind.
Yeah.
And then the progression to full Ironman and crossing the finish line of a full Ironman, you literally
next level.
Yeah, you're just having out of body experiences, because you just have just blown your own mind, basically, is what's happening in these instances. You've gone and pushed past your own personal, not just physical limits, your mental and emotional walls and limits, all of the things that society and your family and your schooling and your ideas of you in the world and who you are, gone.
That little monkey mind. You can't do that. Who do you think you are? Whatever, all that. So, we started talking in the beginning, like all the things that you unpacked. So what are the lessons, the outcomes, not just like the race completions, but like these things that you've learned about yourself? What are some other like long-term takeaways, or what is racing and all of this taught you about yourself? Or what are the give backs that this journey that you've been on has given you?
It's been interesting. Every race is definitely different. And every training cycle and season has been different. My body ages. So there was a point that I got started, everything was new. So there was a lot of progress, a lot of results, a lot of like, whoa. I'm getting faster. I'm getting fitter. Learning how to swim. You're right. So there's like that kind of feedback, understanding what your physical body can do. But then there gets to a point that that's not really a thing anymore. So like when I jumped from 50 milers to 100K and then 100K to 100 miler, my first 100 miler, the lessons from those things are completely different. But if you kind of encapsulate, and then of course going on to multi-day, it's kind of hilarious. In hindsight, it slightly sounds ludicrous and we don't want to scare anybody. But listen, I'm a freaking 55-year-old lady, okay, turning 56. And over the last 25 years, I have continued to be curious about myself. And so the biggest rewards I have reaped is learning more and more and more about myself. So I pick long distance personally, and I do pick things that tend to be in the outdoor space, right? And I also am very attracted to things that you have to do yourself. rather than like a team sport or something like that, or even triathlon where there's a lot of people together in the space supporting your efforts. And yes, in ultra, you can have pacer and crew, but for hours, if not half the day or whatever, you're completely alone in the wilderness trying to figure out where the hell am I? And how do I get through this grand landscape on my own two legs? So learning these skills of self, taking care of myself and listening to my body and really having awareness around my needs, and then working through crazy shit. I mean, incredibly like painful situations, getting sick, I've definitely had heat stroke. So I didn't stroke out, but I had heat exhaustion on the borderline of heat stroke, medical tent. Like I've had these pretty bizarre things. And I still love it
Yeah.
because I'm still learning about myself. And people will say,
Mm.
well, you're taking unnecessary risks. Says who?
Well,
Yeah, says who?
so when I look at my journey, and I didn't do as many, I mean, you've got you guys, if you're not seeing this, you're listening to it only. So Samantha has probably 40 medals on the side, and I can see them in the background of, so you have umpteen races that you've done. You've been up mountains and out in wilderness areas and all this stuff. And mine was a little bit more like in conference rooms and like my journey of developing myself and getting to know myself. But I find when I reflect back, even just watching your Ironman journey and your journey to Trans Rockies and stuff, is you have such a spiritual experience and it's like, when you go, they call it the pain cave, right? Like these long distances create this pain cave, and you go in there and what is it? Courtney says, I dig a hole in the pain cave, and she like goes into the back of it, and it's like, and there you find yourself, right? Like you said, there's these gems of discovery, the self-reliance, the being able to smile in the face of adversity, the laughter, the connection, the appreciation you have. Like you're just finding more and more true sense of you, like who you are is who the layers that you peel back when you go on these adventures.
Yeah, and I find I need to be alone to do that. I mean, I have had support at races, like I've said before, but I generally choose to do these kind of things by myself as much as possible, or at least on a regular basis, because that experience of like having to run by myself all night through the mountains, or having to run by myself across Death Valley, or whatever, like these extreme places, and being out there by myself. Of course, I have safety backup, but like that
Yeah,
alone time
yeah,
allows me to really listen to
yeah,
myself, to
yeah.
really get to know the very, every crack and crevice within this internal being that I happen to be
Mhm.
transporting around in.
Mhm.
And sometimes I learn amazing things, and sometimes I learn not so amazing things. But there's a not a dismantling, it's like a peeling back of an onion. It's very graceful, it's kind of a slow process, and as the layers are
Mhm.
swept away, peeled away,
Mhm.
sweat away, literally,
Yeah.
I become a better version of myself, more true to myself, more
Mm.
connected with myself. I have a deep level of respect for myself, who I am as a human being, a
Mhm.
deep sense of compassion for myself also.
Mhm.
Like, it's interesting when you're the one suffering and you're like helping yourself through the suffering.
Yeah.
Like, it's just wild, dude. It's wild. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I see the self-reliance, I get the self-discovery, like discovering who you are. It's also knowing that you can count on you. Like,
Yeah.
like I got my own back. I got this. Like I know I can do, and there's no amount of like I can do hard things, that we can say from the things that we've done. And some of it too, the race day discovery is all it's like a deep dive into spiritual discovery or whatever. And then the training has its moments too. Like it has other things that
Oh, yeah.
especially you know, like you,
Discipline,
yeah,
structure.
discipline, structure, organization, saying no. I remember when you had to like fire your coach, you're like, no, got to take care of me. This is what I need, right? Or going out and getting resourceful, like like you said,
Mhm.
didn't know how to swim, didn't have a bike, right? I had a similar thing when I started my Ironman training. It was like I didn't have a bike that was going to do 55 miles. I was like, I don't know what to do here. And like I tried to swim 2 laps. I was like, I need some help. I need some serious help. Oh, and this wetsuit thing gonna kill me, just like all of that, right?
You
So
know what's the most valuable thing?
what's that?
Learning to trust yourself.
Oh yeah. Oh
Priceless.
yes.
Priceless. Trusting yourself to survive or do something extreme or
Mhm.
tolerate the discomfort in order to reap the rewards, the amount of discipline required and commitment
Yeah.
required. It's all trust, and it's trust in
Yeah.
you with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
That's the money.
And
That's
I
the money.
think, and where I see these like dots connect for me is like the decision to do it is backed up by the decision to do it every day. Like you keep
Mhm.
making that decision, right? Where some people, it's like I decide. And then where I find, like you said, that self-trust is I decided and I said I'm doing it and I do it. And then every day you decide to keep that word to yourself, right? Like I'm
Exactly.
doing that. I'm doing that. Yeah, I'm getting on that bike. I don't feel like it, man, it's freaking cold, it's rainy, whatever, windy, something.
Yeah.
And you're like, I chose this. I decided I was
Mhm.
going to do it. Sometimes the bigger the why can help those decisions too. It's like, why am I doing
Mhm.
this again? Like being clear on that so that you have that compass, right?
Mhm.
Like that inner true north of like, this is what you think you want to get out of it.
Well, you really need that in the beginning. I also believe in being a beginner many, many, many times about many, many things. So, like right
Mhm.
now, I'm beginning again with CrossFit, right? So, I go in these cycles of training around races and different things. So, but right now, I'm recommitted to CrossFit, which I love
Mhm.
also. And I suck at it. Okay. So, to be
You
clear,
don't.
in the beginning,
Yeah.
y'all gonna suck.
Yeah.
Like, just get over yourselves. You
Mm.
not knowing, can I swim 2 fucking laps? And excuse me, I'm going to swim 1.2 miles in the open water. I got a long way to go.
Mhm.
Or not
Mhm.
knowing how to ride a road bike or being on
Mhm.
a new piece of equipment or just like
Mhm.
all of the variables.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to properly hydrate, fuel, what to
Mhm.
wear, how to take care of myself in the freaking wilderness for
Mhm.
hours.
Yeah.
There's wild animals out there. People ask
Yeah.
me that about that all the time. Or I just had a couple the other day. They're scared to death to go out onto the trails because of the wildlife. I'm like, okay, hold up. Let's look at this. Let's talk this through for a minute. So it is scary, and you're probably going to suck at it in the beginning.
Mhm.
Me relearning CrossFit for now the 10th time or whatever the hell it is. I've been through this cycle before. That's good. I know the growing pains of it, right? But it still doesn't make it any easier or more
Mhm.
enjoyable,
Mhm.
the
Mhm.
workout itself, but
Mhm.
all of the other benefits.
Mhm.
And my commitment is to progress my strength and my fitness as
Mhm.
I age. And this is one of the tools I am using. So there is going to be a process
Mhm.
as I relearn the skills and recommit to showing the hell up, no matter how crazy that damn workout looks for the day, and just getting the shit done.
Mhm.
However slow, however fast, whatever the numbers are,
Mhm.
not being attached to that. Be attached to the commitment, to the
Mhm.
process, to the growth.
Mhm. The decision you
That's,
made to yourself. Yeah. The
yes,
promise you have with yourself. Totally.
exactly.
Totally.
If
And
I just had to be good at everything out of the gate, that's what a lot of people, this all or nothing mindset. Well,
mhm.
I tried it and I wasn't good at it. So what friggin' what?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Of course you're
People could
not.
say that about life. I
Yeah.
tried life, I wasn't good at it. Yeah, well,
Keep going.
welcome to the
Yeah.
party. It's whatever you think is happening is going to change tomorrow anyway. You know what I mean?
Totally. Totally.
Mhm.
So good. So good. So one of the things I've heard you say is, about this decision, right? Is it's not a ansy pansy. You can't just kind of like tiptoe and it's like, well, maybe I'll try this thing called a triathlon. Like there's
Half-assing it, dude. No, there's no
no
half-assing.
half-assing it. Yeah. And find something that you don't half-ass it. Like you have to go all in, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I say a big physical challenge, because for a lot of us, and I did start at 0. Okay, so I couldn't run a mile, and then it was a 5K, and I swear to God, I thought I was going to die in my first 5K. And then to go from 5K to 10K, horrendous, brutal. So like, I get that for some people that sounds like a big challenge, but then once you kind of figure it out, what's next? So for the listener, they've probably done some things in their lifetime. What's next? What could be a level up of what they've already done? So I have a couple people that I work well. I have a lot of people that I'm working with, but most of them are looking to level up in some aspect of their life, just like the people that you're connected to, right?
Yeah.
So if they've done certain things, now they want to know if they can do something bigger or better or whatever. That's a leveling up process, the commitment to the growth in order to become a better version of themselves.
And I don't think we inherently want to stay the same. Like people think they want comfort. I think the mind tricks us into like, this is the known, like this space that I know, this thing that I've always done, this person I've always been with, this job that I've always had, whatever. These knowns create comfort, create certainty. The mind loves certainty, right? Doesn't like I don't know what it's going to be like out there, and
But
I
that's
think
a survival instinct, though. But we can
oh yeah,
overcome that because none of us are, saber-toothed tiger is not coming on the cave door knocking.
totally. It's always the mind just makes, I swear, like when I heard those things that people were afraid of going RVing, I was like I just wanted to laugh. I was like, are you kidding me? Like people drive across the country in an RV all the time. Like on the daily, there's women out there all over the place on the, or whatever, or, running triathlons or all this stuff. And
Exactly.
it's just like, okay, well, if I listened to every thought I had, I'd be pretty fucking bored. Like my life would look pretty small, pretty boring. Like wouldn't do any of this stuff. No, mix it up, get out there. So, and go all in. Right?
And the commitment to do something is forcing change. So change is going to happen whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Choosing change.
To be clear, you're not avoiding change, right?
Yeah.
But I like to think of, am I choosing to build up my body, my brain, my life? Am I choosing to build it up, or am I just letting it break down?
Yeah.
Am I defaulting into being not a victim, but a receiver of whatever happens next? I'm just going to take it and no, I'm going to choose to be empowered and control as much as I can by my own thoughts and actions, the course of this body, this brain, this life's journey.
And I think the other thing that I hear, not only like, oh, scary, this is the discipline that freaks people out the most, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, you have to do that over and 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 over again, right? Or you have to do that early. You have to, or you have to do that long, whatever. Like,
so just let's unpack that for a hot second, because I told you somebody said that to me. They're like, oh, you're like a soldier, in the Army, because I'm currently getting up every day and going to the gym. Okay, that's not a soldier in the Army, but anyway. But in their eyes, it seemed like an extreme commitment that I was making to this physical discipline of getting up and drinking my coffee and going to CrossFit, like just that little thing right there, right?
Like,
so, and then there's nothing extreme about that, right? But for many people, that feels extreme. So just unpacking why that commitment to the continuous habit building, habit formation, habit building, and then actually delivering on the habit. Why is it so damn important? Why is it such a big part of the process?
Well, like I think it goes back to your why. Like you have such compelling whys, like I look at health and fitness as the foundation of my values. Foundation of my values is health and vitality. So if there's no bigger why than my number one core value, it's like it's going to cause me to do, if I move that core value to 10, health and fitness, oh, it's now number 10 in my life, I'm going to make some very different choices. It's going to be very hard for me to do the things that quote, look easy to me now, right? But when I put health and fitness, vitality as my number one core value, choose it if it's your number one, right? So sometimes it's people just needing to look at their values and what their priorities are, right?
Mhm.
Because those disciplines become a hell yes if number one thing I say to myself is health and vitality is my number one core value. Yeah, then discipline, I'm going to do those things, right?
Mhm.
And so, I think the person that you're talking about, I would say, I would guesstimate their number one core value is something along the lines of success or money or career or something like that, right? And so when you put somebody else's number one core value against your core value, yeah, it looks different. Like their actions look different. Like, why would you ever do that? Well, why would you ever do that?
Mhm.
How about
You
you?
know what's interesting too is just the whole like law of attraction concept around ideas like this. Well, talking about subject matter like this, I have lots of people in my space, that I meet, random, and also like by choice or whatever, who are going through much harder things than I'm going through.
Mm.
I currently have my physical health, my body works, etc. But I have, in my CrossFit, there's a gal who's in cancer treatment, currently in chemo. So she works out, does CrossFit, and then goes to chemo. Excuse me. Okay, blow my brain. I have a friend of mine right now who is in a 300-mile race right now, as we speak, who is a kidney transplant patient, survivor, and recovered drug addict. Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, what the fuck, right? Like these people are all around me, you, etc. I have a friend that contacted. She's a friend of yours as well. She's blind. She's a cyclist. She was running and now she's cycling, and she wants to do races. So she wants to compete as a blind cyclist.
Mm.
You can only do that on a tandem, and there's some very specific things that need to happen. I'm all about who are these people? I'm like, how can I support you? You inspire me. Like, how can I be part of whatever that is for these people to achieve their goals? Like,
Mhm.
this is crazy stuff.
Mhm.
And they're showing up every day. They're doing the freaking work. They're living by their values. So there's a value alignment. So I believe these people come into my space and awareness in life, and I meet them and talk to them and whatever all happens there because I put out a certain energy about my values and they do the same. So we vibrate together till we find each other. And then we're like, wee, fun, let's do something more fun, more fun. And it's just keeps me inspired
Mhm. Mhm.
and driven and motivated. And then the discipline just comes easy after that,
It really does.
Mm-hmm.
I think, people see the things that you do and your compelling why and your core values support all of that, right? So whatever you want to get up to in life, whatever leveling up looks like in your life, it could be career, it could be the best mom, it could be making billions of dollars, whatever. Like I'm going to get up to that thing, get up to it, and then have your
Yeah.
values aligned to that if that's what serves you, right? Those disciplines will become non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
They're not movable. It's like, I'm doing that thing. This is my number one core value or two, whatever. I'm doing those things, right? So the answers the choosing gets easier when you align those
Yes.
things. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
people in your life will step up, whether they exist yet or not, you'll meet them,
yeah,
to
yeah,
support that journey also.
yeah,
All
yeah.
of a sudden, if it's triathlon, you'll find people who also are going to go swim in freezing
Hell
cold
yeah.
water and do ridiculous things. Or if it's the blind cyclist, you're going to find a community that
Yeah.
can captain that tandem bike so you can achieve your dream in an environment where other people are all about rallying behind that movement for
Mhm.
you. Like whatever the thing is. Hell
Yeah. If it excites you, if it tickles you, if it feels a little scary to you or a lot scary to you, but it's aligned, it's
yeah.
like, just
Hmm.
try it, get going, right? Like
Exactly.
the leveling up sometimes, the what do we call it? The package it takes. So it looks like I'm gonna do this thing called a race, right? And then I'm gonna get a medal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do these things, I'm gonna get a medal, and then boom, I can say I did that thing. That's what it looks like I'm signing up for.
Yeah.
But what you're getting, it's like the little bait or switcheroo. It's like, oh, and then guess
Oh,
what?
yeah.
That journey, that signing up, whatever, that thing that you got up to, that leveling up
Yeah.
has way more benefits, way more to teach you about yourself and your life than what you thought. Like, oh, I'm going to learn how to run 100 miles. I'm going to learn how to hike in the woods. I'm going to learn how to, keep myself warm in 30 degrees overnight or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're going to learn a lot more than that. Guess what?
Yeah, and in these really uncomfortable, very challenging situations, and you've been in them as well. An example is like me running my first 100 miler, and there was a point in the race. Well, first of all, I'd never run more than 50 miles, so it seemed ludicrous that I was even at the starting line for this race. But my idea was, I'm going to be at the starting line for this 100-mile race because I want to see if I can go from 50 to 100K, so
Yeah.
61, 62 miles. So my idea was to make this, incremental leap towards ultimately, obviously, doing 100 at some point or whatever. Spoiler alert, I finished the 100-miler, but there was no way in hell I went to that race with any concept at all that this was even possible. Zero idea that it was even in a possibility in my own, physical body and brain. And I really wasn't attached to it. So liberating. And there was a point in the race where I was like, I'm going to finish this freaking race. It still might not be in the time cap. I might not get the buckle.
Yeah.
Okay. It might not be, this big love story or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't give a shit.
No
Just
doubt.
completely was detached to the outcome. I was so in the experience that my physical body and my emotional body detached from each other, probably just out of survival. And the physical body was just moving through the course. And it was just blowing my mind so much. I just was floating over, watching and observing the whole thing and just having a very different emotional experience because I was released from the suffering, basically. And the suffering was me being detached from the outcome and me being really detached from listening to my body's aches, pains, screams, etc. It wasn't really part of it anymore. Like I was liberated from that. And it was mind blowing. It's still to this day.
That's an NDE.
Unbelievable.
That's how people with near-death experiences talk. This is amazing.
They just leave the building and they're like, hey, what's going on down there? What's she doing?
Well, it's like,
I wasn't in peril. In that instance, I wasn't having like anything that was endangering my body because I have had those situations where I was in dangerous situations physically. That I've also had very, very different. But in this, it was just I let go. I let go of the outcome. I let go of, I don't know, all the physical things that were attached. It was just it was a spiritual experience.
That's hanging out here. Yeah.
Yeah. And then in completing that and having that, I was like, more of this, please.
Exactly. That's where you talk about a calling, getting hooked by something else going on here. There's something else going on here, and you found it. And you found it through that. So good. Did we share all the takeaways? Any other takeaways that you have that you want to?
So physical challenge, I believe, builds mental and emotional fitness. And I think it's a critical part of us developing because we're a human in a human body.
Yeah.
I mean, we're spiritual beings, we're all this other stuff, but the physicalness of our existence, I believe, personally, this is my 2 cents, y'all, demands some radical physical experience too. Like express the body in the way that you can. The cat's welcome to come to the party.
Yeah, I know. Kitty's here having he's been hanging out he's listening to Aunt Samantha and he loves hearing what you have to say. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just my biggest takeaway is like I can't underestimate and really stress enough for people the importance of this.
And whatever it is for you, like doesn't have to be Samantha's journey, doesn't have to be Polly's journey. It's your journey. It's your little spooky, scary, exciting, tickling thing. Like we're always
do something epic.
Do fucking epic shit, people. God damn it.
Don't think small.
God damn it. Like it's the one life. It's the one life. Like make it fucking worth your time. Make it your life. So good. Okay, any other takeaway? I'm about to jump through this fucking screen.
The cat is joining the party. Hi. Hi,
kitty, kitty.
Yeah, it's definitely because I'm talking and I
Yeah.
call animals into the space. Oh, hello.
Kitty, kitty. Sorry. Keep going, keep going. Okay, what else? What else? Any
I
other
have
takeaways?
one of my favorite quotes, and it will be tattooed on my body relatively soon. But I've had this
Mm,
quote forever, and I just finally, like, I just have to. There's two quotes that are gonna end up on this physical body of mine before it
mm.
dissolves into space. But
Maybe next weekend. Maybe next
maybe
weekend.
next weekend.
Yeah.
And the quote actually goes that the world is our great gymnasium where we come to make
Mm,
ourselves strong.
mm,
But I think our life is the great
mm,
gymnasium where we come to
mm,
make ourselves strong.
mm,
We
mm.
got we got one shot. Build some damn muscles.
So true.
Hmm.
So true. Like make it epic, man. Make it
Yeah,
worth you who you are. Who you
yeah. Show
are.
up strong.
Yeah.
Show up
Say yes when you
create.
mean yes. Say no when you mean
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Show up strong.
Mm, mm. And any one, what's the one thing that you want to leave these humans with? Is there more takeaways? Is there one thing that we want to summarize for them? Or is that it? Maybe that
That's
you.
it.
Well,
No, that's it.
yeah. Say it again. Tell us the quote again.
The world is a great gymnasium where we come to make ourselves strong.
Mm, mm. Yeah.
So
Are you?
your life is a great gymnasium. Every
Mm,
opportunity to say yes or no, to
mhm,
try or not try is an
mhm,
opportunity. You're walking
mhm,
into the gym. The gym's called
mhm,
life.
mhm. And if you're listening to this, you are intrigued by something. There's something your soul is saying, damn, I already know what I should be leveling up. All right, that's it. That's the thing. Yes. Yeah.
Going,
Go get that thing. Go say yes to that thing. Go sign up for it. Go buy it, whatever it looks like. Yes. So
choose
and
your
report.
Everest, choose your PCT,
Oh,
choose
that's
your
good.
Ironman, choose whatever,
Choose
whatever.
your thing.
It's all
Yeah.
good.
Get after it. All right, beautiful.
Thanks.
Well,
I'm
thank you for
excited.
sharing all this. I love it. I love it. And thank you for allowing Kitty Cat to be a part of it. He's enjoying and I won't get to see him next week. I'm coming to see you. So you guys, we're gonna do some episodes in person. So stay tuned. Samantha and I are gonna be hanging out in beautiful La Quinta soon, and then we're going off to Sedona. So stay tuned for those episodes, right?
Lots of
Good
adventures. I'll
stuff.
see you soon, lady.
All right, what do we want to remind him of, my friend?
How your life feels is more important than how it looks.
Yeah, and every day is your opportunity to find your awesome.
See you next week.